Hello again, everybody, and we are here with the lovely Lisa from I Can't Wait to Travel. And Lisa has agreed to join us to share some of her knowledge on the travel world. So, Lisa, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Indira. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. Now, guys, Lisa started her travel in the midst of the pandemic, and hence the name, I believe, Can't Wait to Travel.
That is very true. We opened our travel agency in 2020.
And so when everybody was like, oh my God, Lisa was actually making it happen.
Yeah, that
And
was crazy. But we
but
did
Lisa,
it
tell
somehow.
us what inspired you to start a travel business, especially during the pandemic?
This really wasn't a plan at all. In 2015, I had a food and travel blog just
Mm-hmm.
because I love to eat and I love to see the world. So I was just doing it for fun on the side. At the time, I was practicing medicine, and I was actually just traveling, eating, and writing about it, taking pictures. And one day, I ran into this lady named Mandy in Jamaica, and she's a travel consultant, and she saw my blog, and she said, "Why aren't you sharing this with people so you can book their hotels and tell them where to eat and travel?" And I was just like, why am I not doing that? It's it's so funny because my husband had mentioned it a few times, but it doesn't mean anything when your husband tells you. When
That
someone
is true.
stranger tells you that you should be doing this, it's like, okay. So I actually joined the company that she was working with, and I learned under them for years. And they were a great company, wonderful leadership, lovely culture. But they were just very focused on Disney and that type of demographic. So I said, uh, I'm more so focused on international travel, like the Caribbean and group travel. So in the pandemic, I actually had all this time, like everybody else had, and I was just watching Selling Sunset with my husband. It's a show on real estate when they opened their own real estate agency. And my husband and I had the look where we looked at each other like, we should do this. And we actually started the EIN at that time.
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks later, we're in the first year of COVID. So this is still the scary time. Everyone doesn't know what's going to happen. And I have an autoimmune condition called lupus, so they were really worried about me. They didn't even want me to be at work to get sick from the patients. So I actually caught COVID, and my time of isolation had to be longer. So I
Understood.
had to stay, yeah, I had to stay in that room of isolation for 14 days. So the first few days were rough. And then the last 10, I was getting a CLIA number, getting vendors. And by the time I walked out of that room on day 14, I can't wait to travel was born.
Good. So I also have an autoimmune disease,
Oh, you
and
do?
I do.
We have so much in common.
We do. And I did get COVID and I was hospitalized for a while.
Yeah, yeah,
So I understand, and that is such an inspiring story. I'm glad you shared it.
yeah, thank you.
But how do you approach creating memorable experiences for your clients as opposed to giving them a package?
It really is all about customization. So, as we all know, you can go on Expedia, Travelocity, any of these online sites and book a hotel. So, if we as travel consultants can customize the experience where you're picking the experience that the customer will remember forever, that's what it's all about. So, one client can say, I want a quiet or restful vacation. And in their mind, they're thinking of a book, a beach, and nothing else going on. And another client can say the same exact thing and they have a completely different vision. So, as travel consultants, we need to tap in, get the questions that are pertinent, and make sure that we create that expectation that they're looking for.
So what I'm hearing is that you get to know your client on a personal level.
Absolutely. Like, there's no way that my client could call these online vendors and they know, oh, how's your child Susie doing? I know she's allergic to dog dander. Let's keep her, at this hotel. I know
Mhm.
that your other child has, autism. Let's go to an autism friendly resort. So it's all about the personalization for sure.
Saying that, what is the mission for your company?
It's actually along the same lines. It's about creating experiences. So I just want my clients to come back with the wow factor. And if you don't mind, I'm going to share an example of what happened, and it
No.
just made me so excited to hear this. Not for the other people, but for my clients. I was excited. Um, so my client, she got on the plane. I had planned an entire group trip to Costa Rica for her. And she got on the plane and she sat next to someone else and she said, "How was your time in Costa Rica?" And the person said, "Oh my gosh, I hated it. I won't be back here. There's nothing here for me." And my client was like, "What are you talking about? Our hotel was amazing. The drinks were incredible. The food was so good. The excursion." And they went to the same exact location. And one had a travel consultant plan an entire itinerary that she wanted, and the other just picked something online. So that's an example of just creating experiences where you go above and beyond and your clients are like, when's the next one? When can I do that again?
That is a lovely story. That's an exciting story, actually. What are some of the hurdles you faced with clients and creating these packages for them?
Um, I think my biggest hurdle would be budget because I mean, if when we start, and and being in the travel
Yeah.
world, when you start creating this, you want them to have the best of the best. But I think that it's just being realistic, helping your clients to really get an an incredible experience within a budget that makes sense for them. So that's definitely my hardest challenge.
And how do you overcome that?
That's a great question. So most of the time, what I do is I let my clients know. I'm very transparent. I said, this resort, is similar to what you had last time, but maybe, maybe in this island, like Turks and Caicos is a little bit more expensive. So you can't really get that same experience you had in Mexico. But we can curtail it so we can add this and do that to make sure that you're still getting the value and the experience that you're looking for within this destination.
Saying that I had a relative.
Hmm.
She heard that we went to Mexico for my mom's 70th birthday.
Hmm.
And she called me and she said, I want to have the exact experiences you all had. I want to go to the same hotel. I want to do the same thing. And I was like, but remember, your experience will be different because you're not going with the same group of people. You have to know their likes. You might want to do something and they would not. And she was like, oh, so I wouldn't have fun. I said, I did not say that.
Yeah. But you're setting expectations. So
Correct.
say, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What advice would you give advisors who are struggling to differentiate their packages in this competitive market we're in?
I think that once you find your niche, you can stand alone. Like we can't all cover everything. As a company, our company covers the globe, but you have to have some sort of a specialization. So if you can be the best of the best in your area, then you're going to be the go-to lady or guy for that destination or that type of travel. And it makes a difference. Your guests are going to really trust you.
Do you have any tools or recommend anything that the advisors could use to elevate their package offerings?
I definitely am all about presentation. So, I've never had a blue Tiffany's box with jewelry inside. I haven't had that yet. But I don't know if that ring that's inside or that bracelet that's inside is any better than a bracelet or a ring from somewhere else. But once you see that blue Tiffany box, you're like, what's inside? It just takes the gift to
Yes,
the next level. So it's all about the packaging and the presentation. So I say that to say, whatever your clients are seeing, your proposals, your website, your social media, that's your packaging. So make sure that that has the Tiffany box experience so that they can trust you. Now we're in a time where I Can't Wait to Travel is completely electronic, is digital. So I don't have a storefront. So I treat everything on social media, everything on our website as if this was my store, you know, if I had a store in a plaza. So you really want to present yourself as pretty as that blue Tiffany box.
I agree
And
100% because people like pretty things.
exactly.
One thing I always tell advisors is you also need to show people something because imagine going to the mall. You're going to the mall to pay a bill, but then you saw this pair of shoes and you come out with a pair of shoes. A lot of people don't know what they want until they see it.
Right. Right. It's very true. Very true.
Is there anything else you think our audience would like to know, you would like to share with them?
I just want to encourage travel consultants just because whenever you have your own business, because even though you may work under a host agency, you're still operating as your own. I just want to give them encouragement. There's some seasons where you feel like you're on top of the world, and other days, or maybe even a season where you don't feel as high. So just learn how to pivot, make sure that you're always being consistent and as long as you're putting your best foot forward and following this path, you will thrive with the right tools.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Indira.
Before we go, would you like to share with our listeners how they could connect with you and your business?
I would love that. So we are I Can't Wait to Travel, and our company name is on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and that's our website, ican'twaittotravel.com. And I have some exciting news, Indira. If they follow me at Lisa Service, we're just getting that page started on Instagram. If you follow us, we are going to be rolling out a travel service academy just to give just to give travel consultants all those tools I was talking about on how to thrive. What I've noticed is that a lot of people are coming to our company that are travel consultants, and they don't have the foundation of how to sell travel, how to book a land trip, a cruise trip, do groups. So we're teaching everything, and you don't have to be a part of our company. We're going to have that academy. So stay tuned, follow our pages, and you'll definitely will hear more.
Lovely. Thank you so much. That is so exciting.
I am excited. 2025 is just going to be an incredible year for both of
It
us.
is. It is.
Yes.
So thank you again for taking the time. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sure our listeners appreciate it. You dropped a few nuggets
Awesome.
that, sometimes, as you said, we don't listen from, well, my husband always accused me of not listening to him and would hear somebody else will say the same thing. But,
Right.
so with the advisors, like, it's like, as a leader in the industry, sometimes people wouldn't listen to you because you say it so much, but then they hear it from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. It's like the first time you've ever heard it.
All right.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so
Thank you
much for having
again,
me.
and we will keep in touch.
For sure.